Are you ready?
The Pap Attack.
What we've learned in the last few days is exactly what we've all been predicting for the last year, and that is Donald Trump is absolutely a thermonuclear disaster just waiting to happen with real small hands. When you think about it, he's a giant irresponsible child with small hands. The grown-ups have left him home alone, and he's been dying to get into the gun cabinet to see what kind of mayhem he can cause with those small hands. But in this case, that cabinet doesn't contain a shotgun. It contains the nuclear launch codes. Think about this. We have top military brass, conservative military experts like General Hayden telling us that they don't want to endorse Trump and that they're actually concerned about what would happen if he had access to nuclear weapons or if he had the ability to order missile strikes. These are people who, unlike Trump, have seen the horrors of war and they understand the consequences. Donald Trump, with his 5 deferments from the Vietnam War, knows nothing at all about foreign policy or military strategy. But it's not just Trump's nuclear threats that are tearing the Republican Party apart right now. We also have to consider his attacks on everybody else. He started his campaign with his racist attacks on Hispanic and then the disabled. He's gone after women and minorities at every opportunity. The attacks on Muslims are being used, in fact, by ISIS to help recruit even new members. For God's sakes, he even kicked a crying baby out of his campaign event. With the exception of white men, old white men, Trump's managed to belittle and attack every group of people in this country. Here's the interesting thing about all that, though. This mass exodus of Republicans and big money donors who won't endorse Trump or who've come out in support of Hillary Clinton has absolutely nothing to do with his attacks on minorities or his attacks on women or his attacks where it comes to Muslims. Those Republicans who are abandoning the GOP are only doing it because they feel powerless. They know that they can't control Donald Trump and they can't expect any favors from him, so they feel politically impotent, and they are. They don't have a problem with what he's saying. For years, we've heard the exact same lines coming out of the mouths of people like John McCain, Lindsey Graham, Ted Cruz, Louis Gohmert, Ann Coulter, Michelle Malkin, you name it. If these Republicans actually cared about hateful rhetoric, they would have disavowed the Republican Party years ago and demanded apologies from all these people because they've all been talking exactly like Donald Trump for years. It has nothing to do with what Donald Trump is saying. So here's what's going to happen with these Republican defectors. They're going to stay out of the spotlight until Trump loses. Then they'll re-enter the party saying, I told you so. Now you need to trust us and give me more money. And it's going to work. They're going to get away with that. They'll get their power back. They'll get their corporate donors back. And they'll say the same hateful things year after year that Trump says. And everybody's going to be okay with it. The establishment is going to be fine with it because it is who they are. And that's what the Dump Trump movement is all about, a loss of power among the establishment, not his hateful message that's been the brand for GOP forever.